Welcome back to the JCPod, partner with Stare Down Sports. Stare Down Greatness. I had to find the logo for a minute, I won't lie to you. But man, back at it again like I said we would be on a Wednesday. This is going to be the last episode of the week. I'll probably come back probably Tuesday next week. But like I said, there is a chance that there might be some pre-recordings because, next week is move week and your boy has... I'd be lying to you if I said I prepared. I have a lot that I still need to pack and everything. So, like I said, there's a good chance that I might pre-record every single day of the week damn near. And then good chance that that's what you'll be seeing for the next 2 weeks at worst. At worst, it's probably going to be 2 weeks. I think I should be able to move most of my stuff by then. But that's going to be exciting. But you aren't here to listen about me move and listen about that. We're here for some breakdown. So there's not really any NFL news to go over today. Nothing at least of importance. So I'll probably just pick up with that next week, because I believe when I looked, nothing crazy has happened in the last 24 hours. So, well, pretty much today it's going to be very simple. We're just going to talk about the Lions. We're going to talk about the Vikings. Very similar to how it's going to be yesterday, where I won't lie to you, don't have a ton of bets for the Vikings. Have a little bit more for the Lions. So, it's going to be a fun one. Let's hop right in, man. So, without any... Almost said it. We got the Minnesota Vikings, though. But for a quick refresher, for those of you who did not watch yesterday's episode, we'll go over the standings. As you remember, the NFC North last year was a juggernaut. We had the Lions finished at 15-2, Vikings were 14-3, Packers were 11-6, and you had the Bears 5-12. But for the Vikings and Lions, this game came down to the last game of the season. All the marbles for... All the marbles for basically to win the division and to host a playoff game. Crazy to think that, 14-3 team did not host a playoff game. They actually played on the road. And I'm pretty sure they lost on the road, if I'm not mistaken. Can't fully remember. I'm pretty sure they lost on the road. And then the Bucks played the Eagles. Right? But no, regardless, they did lose first round. There's some changes because obviously Sam Darnold's not there anymore. We're probably going to talk about the Vikings first, by the way. Because, why not? But I'm going to check last year just because can't for sure remember what happened to them in the playoffs. I'm glad I checked because I was thinking of 2 years ago. Last year they lost 27-9 to the Rams. And I won't even lie to you. I really don't remember that game too much. And by too much, it's like I actually don't remember that game at all. Genuinely do not remember that game. I think the Rams just dominated them for the whole game. Wasn't that the game, I think, where they had to play in Arizona, and it was just, because of the fires and everything? I think that's roughly... Past that, I don't remember much from that game. But regardless, it's going to be a bit of a reset year for the Vikings. Because as you see, not only are they... not only are they without Sam Darnold, I think they had some coaching changes as well, but... Head coach Kevin O'Connell is staying. They re-signed him, and they re-signed the GM. OC is still staying. DC is still staying. Special team coordinator is still staying. So, all the changes are coming down to smaller levels, like the pass game coordinators, the tight ends coach, game management coordinator. Like, a bunch of that is where the changes basically happen. But other than that, everyone else stays. The biggest change is going to be, like I said, that quarterback, which, as of right now, it looks like it's J.J. McCarthy starting. Haven't heard totally what his situation is. Obviously, I assume he's healthy and he's good to go if they just let Sam Darnold walk. But overall, we haven't heard totally for sure yet if he's a starter or not. But based on Sam Howell, Brett Rippon, Max Brosmer being the backups, probably J.J. McCarthy starting. A lot of high hopes for him. Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, Ty Chandler, your running backs. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Jalen Naylor, Rondale Moore, Tim Jones, and Ty Felton are your wide receivers. There's a chance that Jordan Addison might miss a couple games this season, if not potentially next season for some, I'm trying to think of the word. It's not, what is the word? It's some off-the-field issues, but it's like I don't know. There's nothing, I actually can't remember what the issues is either. I think it was speeding, potentially. It was something... I can't fully remember, but he might be dealing with some legal issues. I guess that's kind of the word I was looking for. So I don't know what's going to happen totally with him, but there is a chance he'll miss some games. There's a chance he won't. And then they have C.J. Ham at fullback. Offensive line, Christian Darrisaw's still there, but two new additions from the Colts. They got Ryan Kelly and Will Fries, both from the Colts last season. Now they're going to be starting for them. I don't think they should be too bad. Ryan Kelly and Will Fries. I think they should be decent. I don't know. I was hit and miss with Kelly. Some games I loved him. Other games it's like, come on, dude. Jonathan Allen, and now we're going to talk defensively. Jonathan Allison, Harrison Phillips, Javon Hargrave, Jonathan Grenard, Ivan Pace Jr., Blake Cashman, Andrew Van Ginkel. Still can't believe the Dolphins let him go 2 years ago. Isaiah Rodgers, who so he moved on here from the Eagles. Okay. Josh Metellus, which is still crazy, by the way. I'm sorry to interrupt it. Harrison Smith, I can't believe he's still there. Shout out to Harrison Smith. Mekhi Blackman and Byron Murphy Jr. Man, the Isaiah Rodgers situation is crazy because he was a great returner for the Colts like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever it was, and he gambled on his own team. Basically got not kicked out of the league, but suspended for a good amount of games. Colts had to basically had to get him out of the building, and now he's a starting cornerback for the Vikings. He won a Super Bowl as a starting cornerback, I believe, for the Eagles, and it's like what do you know? That's a position the Colts really, really need. So it's just like, man, that's a little bit frustrating. But we're here to talk about the Colts. We're here to talk about the Vikings. I mean, this is a team, they're going to be good, man. The wide receiver, I'd say their weakest thing is potentially wide receiver 3, which that's telling you something. I mean, when your wide receiver 1 is Justin Jefferson, 2 is Jordan Addison. I mean, and you got T.J. Hawkinson at tight end. You're doing pretty okay. But, yeah, I think this is a team where I think it'll be a slight step down from last year, and that's only because they went 14-3. Like, I think this is definitely a team that can win 11 games, but another one of those teams where a lot of it comes down to how will J.J. McCarthy play. So if we're going to the schedule, first game of the season is a Monday Night Football game. They head to Chicago, home for Atlanta, home for the Bengals. They play the Steelers overseas, and then they have back-to-back games overseas. I forgot about that. So yeah, they played the. I'm trying to figure out like timing wise. It looks like one game's on a Saturday, one's on a Sunday, something like that. But it's like what? Could be wrong about that, but I don't know. Week 6 bye, that's a tough bye regardless. But then after the bye, so yeah, like I said, it's away for the Bears, and they get home for Atlanta, home for Bengals, home versus Steelers, home versus Browns. Both of those are overseas, so technically not home games, but it's on the schedule. It's a home game. They get the bye week 6. Week 7, they play the Eagles at home, legit home game. Then they travel to Los Angeles, play the Chargers, travel to Detroit. Home for Baltimore, home for Bears, travel for Green Bay, travel for Seattle. Home for Washington, away for Dallas, away for the Giants. Home for the Lions, and they end the season with the Packers. Like I said, this is just a team where like it's really going to come down to J.J. McCarthy, and because J.J. McCarthy is a bit of an unknown, like betting-wise for sure, I just did not know where to go. And I was just looking at numbers. It's like, that seems good, but man, I don't want to say he's got the game manager thing, but I mean, they kind of see J.J. McCarthy as like a game. I don't even want to say that because like when at Michigan though, he's more of a game manager. But when they needed to make throws, he made throws. Yeah, it's just one of those things where I think they're gonna be fine with J.J. McCarthy. I just genuinely do not know like what to fully expect from them win total wise. Because if you look at the win total, I mean, it's a decent number. 8.5, I think it's the actual line. So, which I won't lie to you, 8.5, it's over 8.5 is minus 150. I definitely do like that over. I mean, 13, 12, what is that, 5, 6 wins they're going to say they're going to get. I don't think they're going to be 5 or 6 wins worse. I do, like, so basically they're going to go from 14-3 to 9-8. I don't know. I feel more of a 10-7. So that's an over I do like. It's just, with it, minus 150, won't lie to you. I probably won't take it because of the odds, but I definitely do like it. So that's one where it's like, I damn near won't even lie to you. If I get like a $25 bonus bet or something, that might be one where I do like a four-leg win total, and I'll do like that would be a perfect one for, didn't we have one yesterday that was some absolutely horrible odds for? That was like 2 weeks ago. Oh, I guess, yeah, but I'm not going to do this. But for example, the Bears under 9.5 wins at minus 160. Minnesota over 8.5 wins, minus 150. And then you could do, I don't remember. I don't have any written down anywhere close. But there's some other teams I remember that like their numbers are a little bit closer to that. But that's probably something I do for the minus 150 part. Because just like I said, I just don't mind the win total. I do like 8.5 wins. I just think minus 150 is some nasty, nasty odds. The fact that, yeah, 15 to win 10 is just like, I don't think I want to do all that. Because, yeah, I think the Vikings could easily win at least 3 games in a division. Then you're asking for 6 wins across, and we just read out their schedule. I could easily find 6 wins on there. And I like their defense. Like I said, I love their offense. This really comes down to our boy J.J. McCarthy, who he's going to have a lot to prove this year. His over-under passing is 36.50. That has to be the Justin Jefferson effect, right? 36.50 is crazy. He didn't play at all last year. I do think he has... I almost want to take it. We're going to see... I don't think it's a bad number. And that's just... I was not expecting it to be that high. I would have guessed like 3,400, but that's maybe me just being on way too of a safe side. Especially with... He has Justin Jefferson. I mean... I just got to keep remembering what I'm looking at, too. Kevin O'Connell, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones. Like, this is an offensive juggernaut. So, I think they will do a lot to help out J.J. McCarthy. So, that's one. We'll come back to that. I haven't written down and done anything with it, but we'll come back to that. That's one that might make the cutting room board for the lost futures of the summer, which probably is going to be coming up at, probably end of July. I mean, because let's see. So we have this week where we finish NFC North, and it's AFC, NFC, AFC. Yeah, I mean, if it's not the last week of July, the first week of August is going to be the missing futures of the summer, where I basically go over any future that I didn't give out in one of these episodes. I'll basically go on that episode if I found any more and be like, hey, these are the numbers I like, and this is what I like. And I'll also probably talk some college there when we get to that point. But that's a little bit futures projection. But like I said, there's a good chance that J.J. McCarthy one might make it. Passing touchdown-wise, his over-unders at 24.5, minus 122. I think I'm going to take it. This one we're going to write in red because I won't lie to you. Like it. I just don't know. My biggest thing is, like, in the back of my mind, I keep hearing Kirk Herbstreit saying, hey, J.J. McCarthy's going to be... He's going to be a bit better than Sam Darnold. I mean, if you remember, there's some games that Sam Darnold has some really bad games in Minnesota. Like, there was a game he played against the, they had a game against the Jags where they scored like 7 points. Or it was like a 6-3 loss or something, like 12-6. It was 10-6. It was something nasty where I still can't believe they lost. I think they lost that game if I'm not mistaken. Still can't believe that. But yeah, I mean, he had 35-12 last year, Sam Darnold did, and he had 4,300 passing yards. It's just one of those points where I think Kevin O'Connell can get decent Kevin O'Connell, just combine TJ McConnell and Kevin. But no, I think he's one of those coaches that can definitely get the better of his quarterback than the worst. So that's something I really like the touchdown. The touchdown one is more of a for sure than the passing yard one. Seeing 24, because I think he can probably have like 28. I mean, I genuinely. Sorry, I had to fix that. That's really bothered me. But it was there's something where it's just like I'm looking at the numbers. It's like, man, 28 does not seem too bad. But I don't know. That's also asking a lot for a rookie. So I like I said, pseudo rookie, but 24.5. I do like that number. I'm gonna probably decide between that and the passing, and that's gonna be a whole summer thing. Where all summer I'm just gonna be like, man, what do I do? Aaron Jones is over under 750 rushing yards. Not gonna lie to you, that is mad tempting. I just read who's their backup. I just read it. I don't think he's gonna get a lot of contention from Ty Chandler, but the issue of Jordan Mason worries me a tad, just because of how Aaron Jones is a bit older. I definitely think they brought in Jordan Mason to spill some carries from Aaron Jones. And if you look at his rushing last year, he had 1,100 rushing yards, had 5 touchdowns. I mean, he had 255 attempts. I would guess he's going to lose about like 30 to 50 of those attempts. That's just me doing a rough guesstimate just based on Jordan being there. But that's one I'm going to write in red. I'm not going to lie to you. Over 750 is not bad. I'm just not. I won't lie to you. I don't think I'm going to take it. But that's something I at least want to write down to remind myself to. Let's look at these. Let's crunch some more numbers. A little bit later in the summer, and maybe I'll be a tad more tempted to do it. But yeah, I just like that slower. Because I thought he'd be like around the 850 range, honestly. It's just 750 feels a bit low, a bit disrespectful, but I'm not. These books know some things sometimes, so I'm just gonna stay away from that. And by the way, speaking of books, I talked about it yesterday. Josh Jacobs have over 10.5 rushing touchdowns. I'm glad I just remembered this. I found another book. Shout out DraftKings. I'll just shout them out right now. Minus 9.5. So if you watched that episode yesterday, this is why you want to have multiple books, because I just totally spaced that DraftKings did have the better number. Because there's just some, like I said, on FanDuel, it's over 10.5 plus money. On DraftKings, it was like minus 110 for over 9.5. And that's something where it's like, I'll easily take 9.5 minus 110 all day over 10.5 plus 112. Because like that 20, 30 cents don't really matter to me that much. I'll easily take the one less touchdown rushing all day, every day. But, yeah, when then it comes to rushing touchdown, like I said, Aaron Jones had 5 last year. This is just where I want to... Oh, they don't even give you an option. The book knows. I was about to say, that's one where I would love to take advantage of an under if it's around like 5 or 6, because I think potentially Jordan Mason, and him are going to flip some. Yeah, so I guess we should talk about receivers now, huh? Do we just take Jordan Addison over-unders at 750? The biggest reason I'm not going to take any Jordan Addison stuff like that is I don't know if he's going to miss a game or not. I mean, if he misses no games, he played 15 games last year at 875, played in 14 the year before, had 911. If he doesn't miss 3 games, I love that number. At 750, I think that's a bit of a steal, but if it's... man, I told you I didn't have many Vikings ones, and this was the main reason why. Is because there's so many of these where it's like, I can just see it maybe. I just don't like how that low that is. So that's another one where, basically it comes down to, if we don't hear anything and it gets like way closer to the season, I'm probably going to take that just because 750 feels way too low. He's hit it both seasons, not playing full seasons both seasons. I guess technically he played 17 in 2023. He only started 14, I guess, so... Regardless, though, that's just a number where it's like, yeah, that feels a bit too low. And then if we go to his receiving touchdown-wise, it's over 7.5 plus money. I'm just going to stay away from that. He had 10 one season, then he had 9, so that's a bit of a regression. You would assume that, based on trends, it's going to go to 8, so it should hit. But I'm good on that. I think that there is... I'm trying to project a regression for J.J. McCarthy, and it's either going to be in touchdowns or passing yards compared to Sam Darnold. So I'm trying to take I don't know. It sounds counterintuitive because I said I did like J.J. McCarthy's over passing touchdowns, but I don't like Jordan Addison's over receiving touchdowns at 7.5. I don't know. I don't think it's a horrible number at all. It's just personally for me, it's something I don't think I'm going to look to take. It's a good number. 7.5 is a really good number because I truly think that probably 8's good number. 8's probably a good number for him, but yeah, like I said, I just don't think I'm going to take it myself. When it comes to Justin Jefferson, his over-under's at 8.5. That one feels a bit more like, yeah, we could probably handle that. If you look at Justin Jefferson from last season, 154 targets, 103 receptions, 1,500 yards, and 10 touchdowns. 7, 10, 8, 5, 10 have been his career stats so far. So like I said, it's over 8.5. Minus 140, I'm away from it. I definitely think that that's another one of those numbers, like I said. I really like the 8.5 number. I think it's definitely hittable, but minus 140, I'm good on that. I'm not even going to mess with those minus 140 odds, especially for a player prop. I mean, if I'm not going to take a minus 140, minus 150 for a win prop, you best believe, like, player props, hell no. Unless it's like a steal, unless it's like something like last year where if it's James Cook over 4.5 rushing touchdowns, and it's just one of those ones where it's like, yeah, he's going to have a good positive year this year, then we'll take it. But so far, I have yet to find, so far I think the James Cook number from this year I kind of like is Travis Hunter. And I don't know if that's, and even then, that one I'm kind of like, do I like that? But it is the same exact number, so hey. But they don't, there we go. Justin Jefferson's, and they finally have Jerry Jeudy's number up. Jerry Jeudy's over under 900. Man, that sucks. I wish they had that up when we were talking about it 2 weeks ago. But Justin Jefferson, 1,250 for him. Career-wise, it's 1,500, 1,000, 8. I mean, the 1 year he was hurt, he didn't hit it when he... This is the reason I'm probably going to take this, is when he's healthy, he's hit this number every season. When he's not healthy, the one season he wasn't, he missed it. So, assuming he's healthy, I think that we would be stupid not to take this. Because it's kind of like the Mike Tomlin thing with the win total. Like, Mike Tomlin wins... He goes positive every year, but the last couple of years have been putting his win total over under 8.5. So it's like, why would we not take that if he's proven every season he coaches he gets it? I mean, eventually one of these times it might not hit. You're right, but it's one of those things where it's like, if it keeps hitting, then why would we not just take it? So that's where I'm feeling with the Justin Jefferson number, where it's like, hey, this is hit now. Like I said, every year he's been a pro, He's hit over 1,200 receiving yards, except for the one season where he got just destroyed by a hammy and basically missed like 7 weeks. So that's something where, yeah, I'm for sure going to take his receiving over. I don't want to say love, but I really like the receiving over. Team special-wise, I don't think I'm going to take anything for this team just because, like I said, I don't know what to fully expect from the offense. It could get really rough at the beginning of the year, and then as the year goes on, it gets better. Minnesota Vikings, though, to miss the playoffs is -120, which means them to make the playoffs is probably that's probably close to like -110, if not +100. Losing a wild card +340, losing divisional +500. I do think this is potentially another wild card year for them. Like I said, I expect some regression, but I don't think it's going to be like crazy drop off. I think we're talking, but like I said, I think like 3-4 wins. So instead of being a 14-win team, they'll be like 10-7 now. The books having 8.5 for the win total. That's something I just don't agree with. I guess I was about to look up rookie of the year stuff. I guess J.J. McCarthy doesn't clarify as a rookie, does he? Because of technically being in the league last year. If you like the Vikings to win their division, they are third on the odds-wise, +270. Packers are +260, so I mean they're basically right behind them. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna take anything else. So I guess it's time for me to. Oh, here we go. To make the playoffs. I don't know why. Let's see what the Vikings are real quick, just so I can give you a number. Minnesota Vikings to make the playoffs, -106. So yeah, that's probably where we'll do it for here. So my official futures I'm going to be taking for the Minnesota Vikings, we got Minnesota over 8.5 wins, -150. I won't lie to you. Like I said, it's one that I am going to take, but I'm not going to lie to you, I'm probably going to be a little hoe about it, not bet the -150, and I'll just, whenever I get a deposit bonus sometime within the next week or two on one of these books, and you get those bonus money, probably just make throw that in a 4-legger, which I know is really stupid, but I do like the win total over, hate the odds, love Minnesota over 8.5 wins. J.J. McCarthy over 24.5 passing touchdowns, -122. I like that. Aaron Jones over 750 rushing yards. I'm really tempted to take that. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. Jordan Addison over 750 rushing yards. I haven't pulled the trigger. Another one where I'm really close to doing it. And then one for sure, I'm taking Justin Jefferson over 1,250.5 receiving yards at -114. So yeah, Justin Jefferson's receiving over, J.J. McCarthy's passing touchdown over, and Minnesota to win 8.5 games are my official plays. The other two, like I said, there's a good chance in 2.5, 3 weeks from now, like I said, when I do that one episode, we'll be talking about the lost futures of the summer. Good chance you'll be hearing about these. But that does it for our Minnesota Vikings. So now it's time to go to the team that finished 15-2 last year in the division, the damn Detroit Lions. And the Detroit Lions for sure had some movement on their coaching staff because we lost their OC and our DC, man. By the way, no idea why I said we. I'm definitely not a Lions fan. I don't mind them, but I'm just not a Lions fan. But yeah, so their new coordinators, like I said, Dan Campbell's still there. John Morton is hired as the new offensive coordinator, replacing Ben Johnson, who obviously left for the Bears. Morton was previously a senior offensive assistant with the Lions, and he worked on the passing game coordinators most recently with the Broncos. Kelvin Shepard got promoted from linebackers coach to defensive coordinator, so that's keeping somebody in the building. Okay, so that coach is staying the same. I think everything else is just there's little small moves here and there, but the biggest one is, like I said, the offensive coordinator's gone, the defensive coordinator's gone, replace them. Aaron Glenn went to coach the Jets. Ben Johnson is now with the Bears, who we talked about yesterday. Yeah, this is a team that went 15-2 last year. I would say an amazing, amazing season for them, because this was just a season from hell. I mean, you had Aiden Hutchinson very early on in the season shatter his leg. I mean, I'm gonna lie to you, literally getting chills thinking about it now. I forgot how nasty the injury was. I still remember the first time I saw it, I'm like, wait, what did he do? And then you see the replays, oh, holy shit, oh. I don't know, thinking back to it now, that to me was almost like the Tyrese Halliburton injury. The thing that keeps them separate is Tyrese Halliburton was in the finals, game 6, and it was right in everybody's faces. It was oh, damn, that sucks. For the Lions, it was Aiden Hutchinson did this on 1 o'clock game on a Sunday. I still watched it on Red Zone. If it wasn't a 1 o'clock game, it was a 4 o'clock against the Cowboys on Sunday. Can't remember exactly, but it was one of those games where it wasn't totally prime time, but it was nasty, man. But it sounds like he's going to be back and healthy potentially. But I don't know how healthy we'll have to see, obviously, because that's a serious injury to deal with, and it's your leg. It's not completely destroyed my finger. I need to replace that. It's a leg. I mean, that's one of the most important joints in your movable limbs in your body. When it comes to, I mean, just injuries in general, I guess is the point I should stick on. They had so many injuries last year, and then they make the playoffs. I think one of the first couple plays of the game, they have a backup guy for either linebacker or DB who's playing decent just shatter his forearm. So I mean, this was a team that just dealt with like injury after injury after injury after injury after injury after injury after injury and just could not survive it after a certain point. But it just makes you sad because, I mean, it's one of those things now with Lions fans where it's like they've been down in the dumps for so long. Now they've won. Now they've tasted winning. So I'm sure it's just a sick feeling like, man, now I wish we could just get over the hump. But, I mean, it's one of those weird things for Lions fans where I'm sure it's weird to be, you know, you got to stay humble because if you remember, it's been years and years and years just being the worst team in the NFL and just getting their shit beat in year after year after year after year after year. Finally, now they're starting to be good and everything, and now it's just one of those things where it's frustrating because, like, man, we're good, we just can't get over the hump. We're good, we just can't make that final step. And last year felt like, hey, it might be our year, but injuries just derailed them to a 15-2 record where, like I said, they still had a great season, but by the time they got to the playoffs, it felt like they were just kind of spent and injuries got to them. So that part's just a little bit sad, but offensively, a lot of them, when it comes to at least like pass playmakers and player-wise, they didn't lose too many people. You got Jared Goff still as a quarterback, Hendon Hooker backing him up, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Craig Reynolds still your running backs. You still got Sion Vaki as well. Wide receiver rise, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Tim Patrick, Khalif Raymond, Isaac Tesla, Dominic Lovett. Tight end, Sam Laporta, Brock Wright. Zach Gordon is your fullback. Biggest thing for the offensive line, I think they bring back majority of the guys, like Penei Sewell's still there. They lose Frank Ragnow at center, who is a massive loss. I mean, he was the top run-blocking center in the NFL. Number one. There's 32 centers that start. He was number one, and now he's gone. So that's a massive, massive loss in their offensive line. So it's going to be interesting how Graham Glasgow replaces him and how that's going to go. Defensively, like I said, Aiden Hutchinson is projected starter. I'm assuming he's going to be fine and good enough to go based on some of the offseason videos he's been posting. Aleem McNeil, DJ Reader, Marcus Davenport, Alec Anzalone, another guy who just broke his forearm last year, another injury. Jack Campbell, Derek Barnes, Terrion Arnold, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, and DJ Reed. And Ennis Rakestraw Jr. rounds out the defense. Jake Bates still there as a kicker. Jack Fox still a punter. I forgot to read kickers and punters every episode. But schedule-wise, I mean, this is a team. They're 15-2, so they probably got a tough schedule, right? Yeah. First game, away versus Green Bay, then home for Chicago. Away for Baltimore. Home versus Cleveland. Away for the Bengals. Away for the Chiefs. Home versus the Bucs on Monday night. Week 8 bye, which is decent. Not the worst, not the best. It's okay. Home versus the Vikings after the bye. Away for Commanders. Away for Eagles. Home for Giants. Home for Packers. Home for Cowboys for a little 3-game stand there. Away for the Rams. Home for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pittsburgh Steelers. Away for the Vikings. And final game, Week 18, away for the Bears. It's nice to see that the Vikings and Lions are going to be playing each other this year because there is a chance now where I think they might sit their guys. Sucks for us as fans not to get to see a banger Week 18 game, but for the players, I'm sure they're going to enjoy a chance to be like, we can rest if we have a good record this time instead of actually playing. Especially because, with all the injuries they dealt with, I'm sure they're going to try everything they can to keep guys healthy this year. And this is a win total. I think we talked about it earlier in the offseason where I don't like how low it dropped. Because I think it's to the point now where I do give the Lions a lot of respect. I do think they're one of the better teams in the NFL. And I don't care that they lost their coordinators. I still think this is a really good football team. If you want to make the playoffs, they're minus 188. 6th best odds in the NFL. If you want them in the Super Bowl, 5th best odds to win the Super Bowl at plus 1,000. I don't know if that's because fans are betting it or if it's just a market movement. That would be interesting to figure out if that's the case or which one is the case, I guess is the better way to put it. For the Detroit Lions, when their win total over under at 10.5 is plus money. That's a win total I do like. I mean, so they're going to go from 15-2, and you're telling me now that 11-6 seems a lot more reasonable. For whatever reason, I was thinking 9.5. I wouldn't be shocked if they even go 10-7, but even 10-7 feels like a real steep drop off. I mean, they were dominant last year. There's some games they looked really, really good in. And obviously they had some other games that they struggled in as well. But this is an over-under I might end up taking just because, like I said, it's plus money. I get 4. Basically, you're telling me they're going to go 11-6 now after going 15-2 last year. That's something where it's like, okay, I think I like that, Lions. So, yeah, that's one. Like I said, that might be another one where, honestly, I won't lie to you. I don't know if the books will allow me to do it because of odds and everything, but that might be one where it's like, hey, like I said, you take the Vikings over 8.5 wins. I'll take the Lions over 10.5 wins and throw 2 other teams in there and make it like a quick little 4-legger with bonus money. But I do like the plus 110, so that's definitely something like I probably would take the Lions. I might just take the Lions solo. If it comes down to it, I've read your odds for them to win the Super Bowl, them to win the playoffs. I'm not going to do any playoff projections for them just because I expect them to make the playoffs now at this point. I don't know. I mean, I told myself I wouldn't do it. You got me. I'm going to do it. What would it be? What would it be for them to? I think we can. Let me find the stage of elimination. What would it be for them to like lose in the Super Bowl, the make conference championships, all that? We're going to take a quick peek. For the Lions to miss the playoffs, plus 145. I don't think that's going to happen. Losing wild card, plus 340. Plus 440 losing divisional. Plus 700 to lose in conference championship round. Plus 1,300 to lose in the Super Bowl. I would play any of the plus 440, so losing divisional, losing conference, losing Super Bowl. I would play any of those, preferably the conference round and the divisional round. I mean, I'm not going to... I'll give you my Super Bowl winner probably at the very, very end of this series. But this is definitely a team. I think the Lions are definitely a team that can be in Super Bowl contention. They're another team where I do trust Jared Goff a little bit more. He has proven it a bit, but it doesn't totally rely on him because of how dominant they've been in the run game. They can get their offensive line to be as dominant as they have been. I mean, this team just has answers everywhere. The big thing for them, I think, is just health. You saw last year, health just absolutely killed them, and it just really affected them. I think if they can have better health at all their depth this year, this is a chance for the Lions to go a little bit deeper in the playoffs. Because I don't think regular season-wise, I don't think they're going to do that again. But I definitely think there's a chance where we could see this team making a deep playoff run again this year. Them to score a touchdown every game is minus 270. That's just absolutely wild. Them to score a rushing touchdown every game is plus 1,200. That'd be the only thing I'd probably take out of the specials. Or them to go 6-0 in the NFC, plus 1,000. But I don't think I'm going to take either of those. So I wouldn't be shocked if neither of those happen. Honestly, I totally could see both of those not happening. But receiving prop, I guess we'll go to... Probably start... I about went to receiving. We'll go backwards this time. We'll start with some of the receivers. And basically by some, I mean only Amon-Ra St. Brown because I don't think they have anybody else up. I guess Sam Laporta too. Sam Laporta over under 700 receiving yards. This is the thing with the Lions. They have so many weapons that I just don't think I'm going to be taking some of these guys' stuff. But, I mean, Sam Laporta last year, 726, 889. Like, yeah, that's one where it's like, he's playing too close to fire, so I'm probably going to stay away from him. Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's a little bit more tempting. He's at 1075. He would be, I mean, him and Jameson Williams. I need to re-see his number because I'm pretty sure. I need to check, but yeah, I can't remember for sure. Amon-Ra St. Brown had a knee cleanup pretty much procedure, so he's expected to go for training camp, which that part scares me a bit that he had a cleanup procedure on his knee, but usually if you have a cleanup procedure, you would think that would be a good thing. But yeah, he's at 1,000 yards for 3 seasons in a row. So that's, maybe he was the one I was thinking of. And you're looking at 106, 119, 115 receptions these last 3 seasons. So assuming that rate keeps up, I mean, this is a number that, very similar to Justin Jefferson, where it's like, man, I don't want to say it's a gift, but the books might be gifting us one here if he stays healthy. But like I said, with that knee cleanup, that does make me a tad nervous. But I'm going to pull the trigger on this one. Especially because we've been a little bit lighter on some of these other divisions. I think this is a division we can afford to go a little bit heavier in. The offense is going to score a little bit more. So yeah, Amon-Ra over 1075. I like that one. And then we're going to check his... I guess we should check his touchdowns, Laporta's touchdowns. And then, yeah, we're going to check Jameson Williams out. And those are going to be the 3. I just can't remember any of these numbers. I'm not going to lie to you. I had them up to... Do they even have a... They don't, do they? They do. Okay, Sam Laporta over 6.5 touchdowns. I like that. We're going to give that one out as well. Yeah, sorry. That is... so it's Laporta over 6.5 receiving touchdowns. That is minus 104. My biggest way of looking at this, I think he's going to be the number 2 red zone target. If they don't run the ball in, it's basically Amon-Ra. And then I believe second read is Sam Laporta almost every single time. So that's one where, yeah, I really like that number. Now we're going to look at Amon-Ra. That's what I want to look at. First place, his over-under touchdowns, 8.5, minus 110. 6, 10, 12 last 2 seasons. So, yeah, that's one where I don't mind it. I definitely think over 9.5 is a good number, but I think there is going to be some touchdown regression for him. And I'm projecting that it's going to be going to Laporta a little bit more. Like, oh no, I'm talking like 1 or 2 touchdowns. It's nothing crazy, so I wouldn't be shocked if he got 10. So that's just something where 8.5's a good number, but I think there's some other. I need to check, like I said, Jameson Williams, but yeah, I'm not. Excuse me, sorry, I got something caught in my throat. Yeah, so we're gonna take a quick peek at Jameson Williams because I can't fully remember. So last year he had 1,000 receiving yards. He had 7 touchdowns. This is the one I wanted to take. That's what it was. Yeah. So we're gonna take Jameson Williams over 5.5 receiving touchdowns. I was trying to fully remember because I'm like, man, I do like that number. Why did I stay off Amon-Ra's? And that's why I couldn't remember Jameson Williams. I just minus 108 is good. And I won't lie to you. If you want to pick between one of these guys, I would probably take Laporta over Williams. But I just like the deep threat and the speed factor of him to where I like guys, especially for some of these over touchdowns. Like with Mike Evans, you're like, all right, he's gonna get like a fade ball at least once a game in the end zone, most likely. Jameson Williams is one of those guys like, hey, he could take a drag to the house. You could take they could put him in the backfield, give him a toss on like some motion stuff, and he could take that to the house. He'll take a streak straight down the sideline to the house. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I like his explosiveness chances, so that's something I'm going to be intrigued for. And they've talked a lot in the offseason now. They're excited for him to step up, take that next step this year, and all that. 875 receiving wise, that's one I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to write in red. Probably won't take it. Basically, we're going to take 2 from these. Well, I guess it's not totally 2, but for sure 2 touchdowns from the category. And then receiving wise, we'll probably only stick with 2. And it's like I said, it's tempting, but I don't think I totally am sold. I don't know. You can almost hear the indecision in my voice. Like it's one of those things. I like the number, I like the odds. The odds are horrible. It's just do I need to take it, man? Do I need to take it? I probably will, and that'll probably be because we're probably going to end up laying off the running backs this year, especially rushing yards wise. I think. I mean, they don't even have David Montgomery's numbers up, so Jahmyr Gibbs they do have though 1075 for Gibbs. I mean, Gibbs had a really good year last year. I just don't like betting on guys that I know are like going to always get split carries, and especially the touch. We're going to talk touchdowns. That's probably going to be the one that bothers me most. Yeah, like last year, Gibbs had 1,400 rushing yards, but there was at least like 2. He only started 4 games, which David Montgomery usually started the first drive. But there was just like 2 or 3 games where David Montgomery straight up didn't play, and Gibbs got all the workload. It's one of those things, like, if Jahmyr Gibbs gets all the workload, these numbers are easy money. Like, I don't want to say easy money, but easy money if he gets all the workload and stays healthy. It's just the issue is they aren't always going to stay healthy, and there's 2 of them getting the workload. So, over the 1075, that's tempting. I just, like I said, I just can't get myself there. And I don't even know if they have David Montgomery stuff out. Yeah, like they literally don't even have. And his over rushing touchdowns for Jahmyr Gibbs is 10.5. Like that's just, I like the number. He had 10 his rookie year. He had 16 last year. That's a tad too much, especially with him splitting time with Montgomery. But like I said, one of those guys don't play. I mean, great. I love it. I love it. So it's gonna be one of those things where you might get me. You might talk me into the rushing yards. You just might talk me into the rushing yards with Jahmyr Gibbs. But I think we're probably going to lay off. Good chance we lay off. Like I said, if anything, you'll maybe hear it in the lost futures if I come back to it. But the 2-back system is just what scares me, man. I really do like Jahmyr Gibbs, the player, and I love the numbers if he was by himself. But like I said, he's not by himself, so. I just can't get myself to do it. Jared Goff, though, overseas passing over-under 387.5. Last season. What did he have last season? Also, new offensive coordinator. I don't think the system's going to change too much from what Ben Johnson has been doing, but there's a chance it does. So I kind of want to see a little bit more of that as well especially mainly the rushing attack. Like, passing-wise, I don't think too much will change there. Jared Goff had 4,600. I mean, since he's been a Lion, he had 3,200 passing yards in the season where he played 14, missed 3 games. I think that was when his first year with the Lions was like a train wreck. But since then, 4,400, 4,500, 4,600. It's just gone up, 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 up. So I do kind of like this passing over a bit, but am I going to pull the trigger? I don't know. And then 29, 30, 37, his touchdowns have gone up, up, up each year as well. That's tough, dude. I'm not going to lie to you. That's Passing touchdown wise is at 27.5. Oh, they're going to make me do it, aren't they? We're going to lay off the passing yards. We're going to take Jared Goff's passing touchdowns. Because I 27.5 just feels a bit too low. I don't think this offense is going to take too much of a step back. I just think it's going to be a slight step back. It's not going to be a James Harden step back where you're hitting 6 of those. It's not going to be like an offensive lineman kick step. It's just like quick little, there's a quick little one little, maybe an up fake. No, but generally I don't think it's going to be too massive of a step back to where these numbers are that crazy. It's minus 130 for the over, so yeah, this is one where I probably will look to take advantage. 130 is basically my limit. Once it starts getting 135, 140, 145, it's a little bit of that. I think I'm good. But over 27.5 passing touchdowns, that's definitely something where I'm going to look to take advantage of that. If you'd like Jared Goff to be the season passing leader, it's plus 1,200 there. Most regular season passing touchdowns, he's plus 1,300. Joe Burrow's leader in both those categories. Most receiving yards, Amon-Ra is not even close on the list. He is at plus 2,600. The leader is Jamar Chase is plus 600. And then regular season rushing yards, Jahmyr Gibbs is 15 to 1. If he's by himself, I would love those odds. But like I said, if they scale back David Montgomery a bit and make him more of the red line, I'll admit that's the biggest thing I wonder about when it comes to Jahmyr Gibbs. Do they start to give Gibbs a little bit more of the open field stuff? Hey, between the 30s, you'll get 90% of the carries between the 30s are all yours, but then when we get in the goal line, it's hey, that's going to become more of the 50-50 role because of what David Montgomery can do. Or are they going to do what they just did last year because it worked, and it took them basically to the playoffs and took them to a 15-2 record? That's basically where I'm kind of wondering now when it comes to the run game. So, like I said, most regular season rushing yards, 15-1, not horrible. I like my boy Jonathan Taylor being in third, but we ain't here to talk Colts. So that's going to do it for the Lions. Quickly to go over the futures I will be taking for the Lions. Over 10.5 wins at plus money. Amon-Ra over 1,075 receiving yards. Sam Laporta over 6.5 receiving touchdowns. Jameson Williams over 5.5 receiving touchdowns. And Jared Goff over 27.5 passing touchdowns. These are all some maybes. Jameson Williams over 875 receiving yards. Jahmyr Gibbs rushing over at 1,075. And yeah, that's probably going to do it for today, people. So my official futures for part 2. So these are my official futures for the Lions, official future for the Vikings. If I'm saying it, money's going down on it. J.J. McCarthy over 24.5 passing touchdowns at minus 122. Justin Jefferson over 50.5 receiving yards. The Minnesota Vikings, the Detroit Lions over 10.5 wins at plus money. Amon-Ra St. Brown over 1,075 receiving yards at minus 114. Sam Laporta over 6.5 receiving touchdowns. James Williams over 5.5 receiving touchdowns. And Jared Goff over 27.5 passing touchdowns. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for all the support. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I'm probably going to try to nail at least the whole, hopefully, basically I'm going to try to record every day next week just to get ahead of schedule. Because like I said, I do have some moving upcoming, so that's probably going to occupy me for a little bit. But besides that, my plan is still to get out these last few breakdowns and finish it up. Because like I said, we only got AFC East and AFC West to do, and then we got the NFC East and NFC West to do. So I promise you I didn't actually mean to do this, but I kind of made them kind of mirror each other. I just realized I started with the AFC North, then did NFC South, then did the AFC South, and then the NFC North. Did not even mean to do that, by the way, just how I did it. So, good chance next week. I probably will get into the AFC East. I'll probably say the AFC West for last, just because, I don't know, though. I like my boy Ashton Genty. I want to talk about Ashton Genty. So, there's a chance, regardless, it's going to be an AFC team. And like I said, I might have to do some pre-recording, so NFL news might get delayed for a couple weeks I'll try to throw it in with some of the pre-recordings as I can. So if you wonder why I'm talking about news and you're like, why are you making that sound like it's breaking news? That was 3 days ago. That might be why, because like I said, moving soon, so we're going to have to pre-record, get some of this stuff done. But I still want to get some of this out because, yeah, these numbers are starting to change. I just saw Texas Tech. This is way off topic, but I saw Texas Tech wanted to take their over at plus 115. It was over 8.5 plus 115, or 130. Now it's minus 120. So, I think all the NFL marks, squares, whatever you want to call them, college football marks and squares, bettors, all of us gamblers who love college football and NFL, I think a lot more people are starting to dip them toes in the water now. So hopefully, like I said, I can just get as much of these out as I can. So we can either get some good lines or you have something to watch for. Like, for example, Minnesota every 8.5 wins. Maybe if you watch that line long enough, you might get lucky. You might drop to minus 130 odds. But we'll have to see. Like I said, thank you all for watching. Thanks for support. Really do appreciate it. We'll be back in this feed next week. Video will probably go out Tuesday, and we'll be talking about either the AFC West or the AFC East, people.